At Aldersgate Aged Care Home in Adelaide, they're getting ready to serve lunch. Today, it's Fish and Chips Friday.
We're very fortunate here because we actually have a cook 7 days a week. So it means we have the ability to be able to cook fresh every day.
Yeah, well, the freshman of the food is good because, well, I can see when I keep the food today for tomorrow. Fresh every day.
It's a big job to feed more than 100 people every day. But it's an even bigger task to make sure they're getting a nutritious and tasty meal.
When you're thinking of an older person, when they come into aged care, often they can be malnourished, often they've lived on their own, and at times their intake hasn't been overly great.
How about you, Rhonda? How's your lunch?
So it's really important for us to try and make sure that we provide a really balanced diet, hopefully make sure that they improve their weight and hopefully enjoy the experience with meals as well.
Aldersgate invited 7:30 into its kitchen and dining room at a time when the quality of nursing home food is under scrutiny at the Aged Care Royal Commission.
You're having to cut corners, you're having to use frozen foods, you're having to use processed foods just to feed the residents.
One witness told the Commission her study showed a staggering proportion of elderly residents were not getting the nutrition they needed.
68% of residents are malnourished or at risk of malnutrition in residential aged care.
And did the training cover issues relating to specific nutritional needs for elderly people?
No.
The Commission also heard some homes don't even have kitchens and rely on outside caterers.
The main complaint that I would get would be about the temperature of the food.
Around Australia, there are 21 nursing homes under sanction by the federal government for poor performance. 7:30 has learned about a third of those have been cited for nutrition and hydration failures.
Top of the range, good places are between $14 and $17 per resident per day. At the other end of the scale, it's around $6.50 to $7 per resident per day.
Aldersgate says it spends about $8.50 on food per resident per day.
It's been a tough time in aged care over the last number of months. I think the thing is the fact that we pride ourselves on the care and the services that we provide, but we don't always get it right.
How's lunch today?
Beautiful, thank you.
It looks great.
We encourage them to provide lots of feedback, to talk to us. Our staff share meals with them so we can actually experience what they're experiencing and try and work with them to deliver meals that they're enjoying.
What are we cooking today, Maggie?
Well, I'm cooking a mushroom dish where I'm stuffing some mushrooms, but really with lentils and onions and some crushed walnuts and ricotta.
Celebrity chef Maggie Beer was harshly critical of the standard of food when she gave evidence to the Royal Commission. She says party pies and hot dogs are a sure sign of a lazy nursing home.
I'm going to cook something that's so simple. Good quality food is essential to the well-being and the health of the elderly. If you feed people beautiful food full of the smells of home cooking, and give them both nutrition, flavour first, goodness and nutrition absolutely, and pleasure together, the difference to well-being that it makes to a resident, to any one of us. And there's just not that understanding. This certainly looks small, but it's so punched with flavour.
Maggie says good quality food doesn't have to be expensive. As well as baked mushrooms, she's cooking up scrambled eggs with parmesan to show how meals should be done.
It isn't expensive and it's so full of goodness and pleasure and flavour.
5 years ago, Maggie started her own foundation aimed at lifting food standards across aged care homes. She runs training courses for cooks.
One of the huge changes that we have to make is training. There are no standards, skill standards right across the aged care, if I say industry. This is what scrambled eggs can be like. We're talking very quick, packed with flavour and protein and goodness.
Delicious. Back at Aldersgate in Adelaide, one of the cooks has already benefited from a Maggie Beer workshop.
We encourage staff to attend a variety of different seminars and workshops off-site. Most recently, they did some training in regards to modified diets, being able to come up with specialised meals for people, particularly when they had swallowing issues.
The fish and chips with a side of vegetables have gone down well. Dessert is tiramisu.
I was surprised because when I moved in here 3 years ago, I didn't know what I was going to find in here. And when I found the food come in, I thought, oh, that's yummy. In fact, I eat everything on my plate. I have never, ever left an empty plate behind me. I'm just a pig.
The home acknowledges the reputation of Australian aged care is damaged, but sees the Royal Commission as an opportunity for the industry to lift its game.
What I would like to see is consistent standard of services across all homes, because residents shouldn't get a different standard of service depending on which home they're in. We're obviously all entitled to a great life and a great death, and that's what you want.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 7:30's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.